Alright, Brap Gang, so we're back. There's a couple things I want to go over on the sled and a couple things I just want to tweak and adjust, and I'm also going to be adding my fly mount grab bar, and I'm going to put my Red Rider decal on the windshield so you guys know it's me, even though I don't think you'll have too much trouble spotting me at this point. So the first thing I want to do is adjust my riser. It's really far back. It's actually, if you look at it, almost kind of past the pivot point backwards. So I'm going to adjust that, and I like it a little bit more forward. I don't want to go like straight up and down, but I definitely want to get a little bit better angle on it. Then I'm going to move my handguards out a little bit, and it'll give me more room to put my grab bar. Probably on the inside of the handguards, I'm thinking. I think that'll be probably my best bet. There's also a couple things I want to go over with the differences between the 850 in the Assault and the 800, as well as just a couple little build quality things I've noticed. I don't know if a couple of them were the same way on my 800 Assault or not, but then I am pretty confident that a couple are strictly just to this sled. So first things first, I complained on the Arctic Cat that the throttle was pretty loose, but on this sled it's actually pretty loose too. I don't really know why. There isn't like a bolt or anything on the bottom, so I'm just very surprised that it can move that much in the throttle housing. It's literally something I complained about on the Arctic Cat, and now my sled has it. I don't remember my 800 being that way, so I think that is very much just the 850. Another little thing is back here you can see this is like the type of, it must be the glue or the sealant that they use to bond these together. This gray bonding agent is sticking out. I would have assumed that they would have like cut it off or sanded it off, but you can see that like not only is it there, but it's got overspray on it. And on my last sled I had the black tunnel, so had there been this like gray material sticking out, it would have really stuck out to me. So I'm surprised they left that the way they did, but oh well, not the end of the world. Pretty much that seems to be it as far as like little things I've noticed that I might not be like super keen on, but other than that, yeah, everything feels either similar or almost exactly the same as the last sled. These pins actually turn a little harder, but I'm not really like upset about that. I feel like that's a good thing. The last ones, they would kind of jiggle around to the point that like when I would go to do them, I wasn't always like the most confident they were going to stay. So I don't know if they'll wear out over time or if they'll always stay that tight, but I'm definitely not upset that they're that tight right now. So I know everybody's been very curious with all the delays and everything. It turns out my sled was built on November 29th, 2018. So all things considered, that's really not that bad. Like I would have assumed it got built a lot earlier. From what I was hearing, I thought the Assaults were getting built like the middle of November and early November. So you know, it getting built on November 29th and me having it by December 29th, you know, with all the different stuff that they have to do, I guess it's not really that bad. But obviously I don't prefer that my sled be built that late, even though their turnaround was pretty decent with it. So the big difference for the 850 in the Assault is that it's got this new snow flap. This is quite a bit different than the old snow flap that's still on the 800s and the 600s. I'll show you guys a picture of that. The only thing I worry about with this is it's got these actually like almost, I don't know, this might be a decal actually. No, this is like almost a different type of finish on these like strakes down here. But this is a much harder plastic, and I am definitely a little afraid doing wheelies and stuff that I am gonna break this. I can see the purpose of it, you know, being able to kick the snow up a little bit better with the better angle, but yeah, this is very rigid. It does have this kind of like giving point here, so I'm hoping that that will help it fold up. You can kind of see the creases here, here, and here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see how it works out. Hopefully it'll just kind of break in over time and it won't actually end up breaking. All the hood pins and stuff are still the same on the inside, so they work pretty good though. I didn't really have any issues with that. It's crazy how black the sled looks when you take the side panels off. I mean, it just shows that with like a quick side panel change, I could have a completely different looking sled. So one of the things I'm the most excited about, if you guys had a Pro S or Pro X, I'm not 100% sure on the XCR models. I think they might have also had this, but the first year when the Axis came out, they had the carbon fiber overstructure on the sleds, so you can see this carbon fiber through here. And I thought that was such a cool thing, and I was so into it. And then I ordered my 17, and without, you know, researching it, I don't even know if the information was available at that point, but I had expected it to have the carbon fiber overstructure, and I actually had an aluminum one. So, I mean, not the end of the world, but it's cool to see that the carbon fiber one has made its way to the Assault now. As far as I know, they haven't included it on the 600s or the 800s. I know a couple of you guys got 2019 600s and 800s, so if you did, let me know what your sled has on it. You don't have to take all the panels off to see. If you just open up your left side panel, you'll be able to see a very large portion of the overstructure, and you'll know if it's carbon fiber or not. So yeah, those are the main things I noticed that were different between this sled and my last Polaris Assault. Cool little differences to kind of set it apart. Obviously, we have that Polaris 850 engine just chilling in there. I don't know if it says Patriot on it anywhere. It doesn't look like it does. Obviously not a ton of room to see it. That's kind of cool that the spark plug wires are labeled MAG and PTO. I don't know if the last ones were or not. I took them apart in that video, and you think I would have looked at it, but I just kind of kept track of which one went where, so I kind of made that pretty easy. But cool that that's labeled. Everything else in here looks really similar. Big old can on it. I thought it was cool that there's this little dimple here on the pipe. Obviously, for like hood purposes, they all have this dimple. When I first saw one with it, I thought maybe it was a dent in the pipe on a new sled, but it's not. But your pipe certainly says Polaris 850 Patriot, so that's pretty sick. That's a good way to know that you actually have a Patriot. So like I said, we're going to do a couple little adjustments on it, get things kind of all squared away, and just get it set up exactly how I want it set up. And then we should be ready for snow next weekend, so fingers crossed. Alright, so I'm sure there's better brands of these out there, but I'm just going to give this one a try. It's my first mountain grab bar I've actually purchased, so what I'm going to do, like I said, is adjust the riser and then adjust the handguards and then put that on. I'm going to put a little bit of electrical tape just where these are going to contact, just to kind of give a little barrier so it doesn't beat my handlebars up too bad, but that's the plan. Yeah, so like I said, rolled it just a little forward past the steering column now. Before, I think it was just slightly back from it, and now it's definitely significantly more forward, but I think that'll be a better angle for me. I kind of just prefer that. Allows you to kind of get more up and over the front of the sled rather than be pretty far back on it. Now I got to roll the handlebars back a little bit, and then the handguards will get moved anyway because I wanted to bring them in. So the bars are rolled backwards a little bit now. I'm going to do the handguards, and then I'll tighten everything up, and then I'll add the grab handle onto it. Alright, so like I said before, everything is now rolled the right direction. The handlebars are rolled back from where they were. The handguards are moved back down a little bit. The only thing I hate is that
I kind of wish they would have just waited to let me put my handguards on, because they kind of scuffed up the pro tapers, and you know, I feel like handguards might be something you want to do on, you know, your own to kind of get them exactly where you want them, but I think I'm probably part of like a very small percentage that feels that way. I'm sure the rest of the world is like, why do I have to put my handguards on when they pick up a new sled? So I probably should have just asked, but oh well, not the end of the world. So I mounted the mountain grab bar inside the handguard mounts, and it looks pretty ridiculous. So I'm gonna redo it and mount it outside the handguard mounts, get a little bit less angle to that hoop, because that thing looks ridiculous like that. Okay, so we are all adjusted from when the handguards were on the outside. I moved them on the inside. As you can see, we're all mounted up over here. I did a little kind of test fit, and it looks a lot better. So I'm definitely happy I went that route. I like to put a little electrical tape like right around where the anything's going to sit on the bars to kind of avoid from this scratching you see over here. It's from the handguards. Had I put the handguards on myself, I would have put a little under there too. It just kind of helps, especially when you have like pro taper bars, to kind of keep them in better shape. Like, this is probably one of the cooler parts about them being pro tapers, that they have these decals on them, and they're all kind of beat up now just from the handguards. But you know, if you set it and forget it, it's not a big deal, but when you're moving it around, it kind of affects it, but oh well. So to get the bottom bolt on, I actually loosened up the brake just to roll it backwards. I rolled it like down, and then you can easily roll it back to the original spot. It's just getting a socket over the nut and everything's a lot harder with the brake cable in the way, so definitely something to keep in mind as you do it. There's a finished product. I think it looks a lot better than before, so. Alright, so final show of how it all works. Just get a grab on the grab handle, grab on the handlebars. Boom. There she is. Pretty happy with how it came out overall. I think it looks pretty good. Gets that SKS, like RMK kind of look. So, sets it apart. Makes it a little different from my last sled. We have the deeper lug track, so hopefully I'll actually make a little bit better use of going off trail with it this time, but we will see for sure. Alright, windshield decals on, so we will install it now. That's what the sled looks like without it. Looking all tough and rugged. Crazy, the sled still smells new from all the wrappers and stuff. So when you do take your windshield off, if you do, take these little pins out of the parts that hold them, because if you go to push it back in, you will most likely push these in with them, and you'll have to go pop it back out again. And there she is. I think it looks pretty sweet. I went with black, obviously, with a white background, kind of like the Polaris decal and the Assault decal. I think it just gives it like a cool look and kind of ties the whole sled together, so. Pretty happy with how it came out, so you guys can look for Rev Rider 550 again, and you'll know it's me. Alright, so thanks for watching. Sorry that we don't have any riding footage yet. It's literally the Sunday after I picked the sled up, so I got my delivery vlog out to you guys, and now we got the little parts install, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Not too bad of an install overall. This was only $27, I believe, on Amazon, and it goes on pretty well, as you guys can see. Works decent. It might not be like that. I think it's a Rocks one where they show the sled getting lifted by the grab handle. I don't know if it's that strong, but as you guys can see, I was able to flip the sled right up onto its side, no problem with it, and that's the main use of it. So I hope you like it, and I'll keep you guys updated with how it performs this season overall. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, Brap Gang.